Hello and welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and we are here drawing this tiger. Now, this tiger is an image on pixabay.com. It was an image that I just saw, it poked out to me, and I was like, yep, I'm tempted to draw this. Um, that's why those kind of websites like pixabay.com is awesome because you can find random imagery on there, and you don't have to search for anything if you don't want to, and it can give you some ideas of what to draw and what to create, and use that as reference. And also, it can give you alternative imagery. If you're looking for something specific, like a cat or a dog, it can give you more kind of maybe different angles of their dog or cat, or different, just different photos of the cat. It might get you something like a dog sitting on a ship, compared to if you looked up dog on on Google, you'd probably find generic looking dog imagery. Um, yeah, this is a dog kind of a thing. Whereas if you look dog on something like pixabay.com, you'll probably find a lot of different references, lots of some illustrations even on there. You can do on Google as well, but you just find a lots of alternatives on sites like Pixabay. There are lots of sites like them. But this is my channel. Welcome in. If I didn't welcome you in before, Daniel J Illustrates. Um, and as you can see, it might be a little bit choppy in the process while you're watching it. Um, I do a few processes as I am painting and drawing this. Um, it's kind of it's kind of drawing, but I'm also using like shades as well to help me guide to draw it. So it's kind of in a way a little bit of a painting process too. Um, I just using a bit of shades does help me to kind of line things up as well as just the line work. Um, and it's kind of like using boxes and shapes and things like that. I do that as well. As you can see, I've got that line on top of the head there, um, as well, and I have been drawing this for the last week or so before the build up to doing the 90-minute art challenge for it. For a little bit, like a week or a couple of days or something like that. Um, I paint and draw whatever image I'm looking at doing 90-minute art challenge beforehand now, just to get me kind of reinforce it a little bit and kind of understand what's going on in the image. Um, Yeah, so it just gives me a little bit more by the time I get to the 90-minute art challenge. I have some grounds to work on. Um, and I'm not battling around, just trying to get a an okay image. I've actually got a grounds work there. So I wouldn't exactly call it like, you call it 90 minute because it took me 90 minutes to do this drawing here from start to finish. Um, but I have been drawing it in the background beforehand. So, for this particular time, this particular drawing, 90 minutes. But all the other attempts before that, I've just been doodling and drawing this image. Um, and really, at the moment, I'm just kind of drawing with reference and creating stuff that way at the moment. Um, I I think I've had a few things I've done in the last few weeks, some play arounds, well, a few months really. But mostly it's been a bit of practice, 90-minute art challenges, and just trying to get better at art at the moment. That's where I'm at. Um, and it's always great to do. Um, I think there's two ways about it though. The way I feel about it, is either you can level up by doing all these practices and drawing from reference, which is a really easy way to start. If you're starting out, you just want to create some art, um, and see if you like it maybe or something like that. Just getting fresh into the industry. Well, probably not in the industry per se, but getting fresh into art and that kind of thing. Um, Starting out at this point where you're just creating what you see, is really a good way to kind of start. Because it gives you a good foundation. It gives you something to draw upon. If this is all in my memory bank now per se, I can um, remember how I kind of draw this tiger, and I can take it into another illustration, maybe take the pose or the river scene, and I'll be able to use it in future drawings or something. Um, so I've got something to reference. I would be like, oh, I remember how I drew this ear of this tiger, and there might be somewhere it pops up later on, and it'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. I drew an ear like this, and it kind of brings back to the memory of drawing this. That's what I mean by kind of put it in your memory banks that you've drawn that. You've really got to build that up when you start out. That's definitely the way I feel about it. Um, and I've heard this from quite a few sources as well. Um, but that's, yeah, definitely the one way. The other way is doing while learning. So just creating your own works and things like that, and just learning as you go, kind of a thing. So for instance, I did like what have I done? I did, I think, one reference piece I can think of is the Halloween Ghostbusters dogs, Ghostbusters as dogs. Um, that was created out of just wanting to do some more different dogs. An interesting idea. Um, I think there were some elements there I didn't fully know about at the time. Like I wasn't that great with backgrounds. Per se, obviously, that's just like there's a later piece. I'd say an earlier piece with some sort of background in it. Something like Pugly Quinn. That I didn't have too much experience and background at that stage even. Um, so with backgrounds and things, I was learning as I go, and you can kind of tell that because yeah, um, some of the backgrounds, especially back then, weren't that great. They looked, and meeting it now, but yeah, they didn't look that great because I hadn't had a lot of reference or had experience in creating um what I saw backgrounds. I had a little bit of experience, but not enough of that aspect. Kind of a sci-fi kind of feeling, in a way. Streets, that kind of thing isn't my forte. Isn't something I've painted a lot. Um, so I haven't had a lot of referenced material to actually draw from. So you can tell now. I think that's what I'm kind of doing now is kind of pulling from some references and just drawing what I see at the moment. Um, Again, I don't have a lot of time in the world, unfortunately, to, um, I only have about 10 hours a week ish to create stuff. So just at the moment, just improving my skills, um, and then, yeah, moving on to the next pieces. I'm looking at possibly updating some some of my portfolio pieces a little bit again. I just polish off some again, kind of a thing. Yeah. So, and it's been interesting doing this tiger as well. Again, I'm looking at it and I can see like where I've kind of gone wrong, where, but look, there are some things in there that I am liking, and that's always good just to look at what you have achieved because it helps you push it forward a little bit more. Um, but looking at the things you did do wrong in kind of a positive way that you can improve on, if that makes sense. So, hopefully this has helped you. Keep creating, keep drawing, and we'll see you in the next video.